Hey there, everybody. I'm Jasmina, and this is Venture with Jazzy. Today we have a special guest, Ben Hedges. Welcome to the channel.
Hey guys, it's great to be here.
Today I wanted to discuss about Ben's Airbnb because I found that it's a really cool way to get passive income, and it's kind of confusing, especially in today's housing market. The interest rates are high, and then Ben is doing all of this right now. So I kind of wanted to get a Q&A of how he kind of proposes his business plan of doing this whole Airbnb process, building the whole cabin, which will be located in upstate New York, and more. First thoughts about that?
Yeah, well, we're building it now. We're about 6 weeks away from finishing it. We actually were able to close on the loan sort of at the end of last summer. We were able to get a 4.6% interest rate, which is quite a lot lower than what you'd get if you did it now. Originally, we were at 3.1%. We were approved for a 3.1% interest rate, but the price of lumber was too much. I didn't want to build it at that time, and so our total cost of building this thing is about $378. And the appraisal, $378,000, and the appraisal was $400,000. So we create about $22,000 worth of equity if it appraises for that by the time we finish building it. Which, who knows? It might not, because housing prices are coming down a little bit. But that is in theory what we've done based on the figures. So
among all the passive income strategies, why did you choose Airbnb?
Yeah, so the reason is basically, I mean, if you want to do a rental property, right? Let's say you want to rent it out to a person. Maybe your mortgage is, $1,500 a month on a 2-bedroom house. They're going to be paying, I don't know, $1,700 a month. So you're only really getting $200 a month, and maybe $100 of that you got to save for maintenance anyway. So maybe you're only getting $100. Maybe you're not even getting any cash flow. So it's really hard to cash flow with regular rentals, unless you do duplexes and triplexes and stuff. That you can start to see a bit more cash flow, maybe a 1,000 or 2,000 surplus per month. But it's not like doing a luxury cabin where you're maybe paying $3,000 a month in expenses, mortgage, cleaning fees, other things, and you're getting like a revenue of $10,000 a month, giving you a profit of $7,000, something like that. So really, if you want to do that with property, the only way right now, it's kind of a golden opportunity right now, is that you can do this with sort of luxury cabin rentals. When you're doing this, you got to do a bit of research, right? So I've spoken to other hosts who are making between $8,000 and $13,000 off a similar property with a hot tub, a cabin style property
in the same area in New York.
Same area, yeah, the same town even. The same town.
Oh, wow.
In the Catskills Mountains.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's some nice research you have there.
And by research, you have to speak directly to hosts, because if you look at availability on Airbnb, I mean, there's other websites like AirDNA that you can use, but if you look at availability on Airbnb, sometimes certain dates could just be blacked out, or they could be people who get a lot of last minute bookings. So it can be a little bit difficult to figure out their vacancy rate or how much they're booked. Tools like AirDNA can tell you a average vacancy rate or occupancy rate in that area. But then, these get distorted by other people who are doing lower quality rentals. I've talked to one guy who was that guy who was getting really good occupancy, and another person who was getting, they didn't tell me how much money they were making, but they said they were at about 80% occupancy most of the year. Yeah.
So did you foresee any hiccups that would happen in the future, and kind of how did you, I guess, avoid that or put your mindset towards your building?
Totally. I mean, I built, because this was my first one, I sort of built an insurance policy into it. Although it's pretty stylized and pretty unique, it's not too stylized in that it's not like an A-frame or a tiny home that's totally unpractical. Like the way we've built it, someone could buy it and live there as their primary residence, right? There would still be, like, the bedrooms are a good size. There's a roof, an attic that you could store stuff in. It's big enough that someone could still live there permanently. So that's our get out, last resort nuclear option, is just if it's not working out, we can just sell it and someone probably will buy it.
How did you come up with the idea of just building your own place versus actually finding something that's already standing and renovating like an existing cabin or house?
Yeah, this was a friend of mine who was really into these cabins, and in the Catskills Mountains, there's a lot of these Scandinavian inspired cabins, sort of dark exterior siding, and a lot of the construction around here of existing houses is not very good, sort of old houses or built cheaply and stuff. So we felt if you want to make a space that you can really charge like maybe 500 a night for, you need to build it yourself. Unless something really unique comes on the market, but then it's going to cost you like $500,000 or 600,000 or more, right, to buy. So we decided, okay, let's build it ourselves, and we'll try and make it really unique and really nice. We'll put in a hot tub, we'll put in a wood burning stove, all the things that you can charge more for. We might even add a sauna the second year, probably not this year, but the second year. Yeah.
Wow. Oh my
Outdoors as
gosh.
well. It's like a wood sauna outdoors with glass windows so you can see the woods. It's about $7,000 for the sauna. And so when we're building it, we've had the electrician put a power outlet on the outside, the exact type that's required for a sauna. It's a different type to a regular one, in the place where it's going to be. So it's like we're future proofing it as we build it.
I'm actually a designer myself, but not in terms of architecture. Did you have someone to consult you about the entire plan of the house? Like, I love the huge windows. So how did you come up with the design of the place?
Yeah, so at the beginning, I was working with one guy who was really into this, and he wanted to start a company making these kinds of homes. And he actually helped me design it based on houses, looking at pictures of like other cabins, right, basically. But then I actually didn't build it with him in the end, because when I was looking for a builder, I had a bidding war between several different builders, three different builders, in fact. And I chose the middle one because I thought they were the most professional company. So there's, one was cheaper, one was more expensive. I went with the middle. We then did some redesigning with them to make it less totally like the Scandinavian style cabin and more a cross between that and a regular house, so that if we wanted to sell it, people would actually want to buy it.
It's not too weird
Yeah,
for Americans.
Right, exactly. Yeah, not everyone wanted to live. For example, it had no overhangs originally, right? The overhangs at the side of the roof, the eaves, it hit the wall and it went straight down, which is very stylized. But if you're going to sell it, does everyone like that? So we kept many of the things, like the cool custom window, which is like triangular, goes all the way up the front of the house. And then we strategically done things to save money. Like, for example, we're putting wood cedar siding on the front of the house, but on the sides and back, it's going to be a different type of engineered wood that's just painted black. So when you drive up to it, you see this wonderful looking wood siding. Then on the sides, you have the standard siding that a lot of cabins have, which is this dark wood, which is still pretty cool.
Also, in terms of this, I know that taking this Airbnb is a huge initiative, especially in terms of cleaning. I was wondering, did you already assemble your team, or are you going to be doing it yourself for all the cleaning turnovers and then the maintenance? So how does that look like in the future?
Yeah, I haven't assembled my team yet. So don't be surprised if the first month I end up doing it myself. But as a business owner, you need to get your hands dirty sometimes and learn what needs to be done. So I may actually do it myself for the first couple of weeks, just to learn it, so that when a cleaning company comes in and does it, I can figure out if they're not doing certain things right. So yeah, that will probably be something in the first month. And then obviously once we start, it will eventually be cleaned by a professional cleaning company. So, normally with Airbnb, you charge a cleaning fee, and then that just goes directly to the cleaner. You might need to subsidize the cleaning fee. If you're charging, say, $50 and they charge $75, you might have to use some of your rental income.
Are there any resources you would recommend to anybody out there that's looking to do this Airbnb business?
You might as well do some of your own marketing in addition to that. So, for example, my strategy has been to start an Instagram for the cabin. So you can follow it at Minnewaska Cabin, or we'll link it below or something. Well, Instagram and collecting people's emails. Like, Airbnb doesn't like you to collect their emails, but there's a way that you can, if you install a hardware device in the cabin, so when people use the Wi-Fi, it's like a hotel. They have to agree to the terms and into their email.
My gosh. Wow.
Right? So you collect the email of every guest who stays there. And that way you can then target them for returning guests, for rebooking, right? And so you could give, say, a 10% discount if you've stayed there before, And same with Instagram, if people are following you on Instagram, you can do Instagram stories and be like, let's say you've had someone just cancel, right? 2 days right before. And then you can say, oh, wow, I've got this stay. I know I'm going to do 20% off, 30% off just to get it booked. You can do all sorts of stuff like
strategy.
That with retargeting, right? So yeah, this is all stuff we're going to do. We're definitely going to do the collecting emails thing. We're doing Instagram. I mean, I got a big following on my regular Instagram, so I'm using that to promote the new Instagram for the cabin. Yeah, that's my advice to people. You know, like I really think it's a great opportunity for unique spaces, but like the Airbnb, people call it the Airbnb bust that we've had recently. I think that's wiped out a lot of people who did like apartments in cities just to capitalize on the travel boom that we had after COVID. Because a lot of those people are shutting them down now because there were too many on the market. But I think people with unique spaces that are going to attract people, not just because they want to go to that city, but they want to stay in that specific Airbnb because it looks great, right? Now, the way they're doing the algorithm is they're promoting more of those unique spaces, especially their OMG category. They've got this new OMG category thing with really unique homes. So tree houses, A-frames, domes, yurts, like a lot of this stuff is really popular right now.
Thank you so much, Ben. I am really excited. I hope I can actually go and visit your cabin and it won't be overbooked, but we'll see. And then
we'll definitely make space for you. Yeah.
Maybe I'll do a video on that and then we can all tour your cabin. Thank you all so much for watching. Also, please watch Ben's video. We did a video together talking about the lounges. So make sure you watch that, the Centurion versus the Capital One lounge, because both of us haven't been to both of the lounges. So that was a really nice discussion.
Thanks.
See ya. Bye-bye.